I'm E.
And we're back. So, you'll notice, split screen again.
I know we're not together anymore. No more vacation.
Vacation is over. But it was amazing. And we did get some videos done while we were there, so make sure you guys check those out. You might see some pretty cool scenery. Just pointing that out.
Swiss Alps.
Okay, so of course, the first video that we're giving y'all upon our return has to be a Kardashian video. What is the reason for this video?
Well, we're almost done with the season, and I think I actually need a Kardashian break. Is there such a thing? I don't think so because they are always bombarding our internets. So Khloe wants to interview Cici, basically to have like a video capsule so they can look at it, later on in the future. She plans to give it to her sisters. So, this was a very kind of cool story because we haven't heard this side. And we don't really know that much about Cici. So Cici is her dad's first cousin, and she has all the Kardashian, like the real Kardashian deets, not the siblings, the ones that we know. So Khloe says that her dad used to record everything, and that's great. So that's what's inspired all of this. So they basically go into the family history. Apparently, Helen Kardashian, the Kardashians' grandma from the dad's side, was a fixture on Rodeo Drive.
Oh.
People bowed down to her, and that was Cici's mentor. So, in case you wanted to know, this has been going on for generations, apparently. Bowing down to the Kardashians. Cici recalls when Robert Kardashian Sr. and Kris got divorced, Helen called Cici asking her to fix it. Helen said that no one can talk to Kris, and Cici said she couldn't do that because she wouldn't be able to talk to the kids. So Kourtney, Khloe, Kim, and Rob. So basically, Cici was ousted from the Kardashian family. And nobody talked to her, which I thought was really sad. Robert Kardashian Sr. stopped talking to Cici as well, and he was furious up to the day that he died. Cici says that that's her biggest regret. She went against the Kardashians, and she wasn't supposed to do that. Cici recalls Helen confronting Kris and telling her that she's worked so hard and that Kris ruined the family. The Kardashian castle has crumbled.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm. In-laws, man.
Shout out to Cici for being ride or die to Kris, because man, and obviously past generations, they were a certain way and had a very different mentality and view of the world. And I'm sure that it was such a blow that, the divorce was because of Kris's cheating and all that. But men do it all the time. And everybody still expects for everybody to get along with him. Case in point, Tristan Thompson. So, it's kind of crazy that essentially the Kardashian empire, the Kardashian legacy, is still alive and incredibly thriving thanks to Kris Jenner. Like, as much as Helen Kardashian or Robert Kardashian or whomever, must have hated Kris, it is thanks to her that the name lives on in the way that it does. So it's all very ironic. And then also, I don't know if you were going to mention that later, but what Cici said about Kim sneaking Kris in right before Robert died, and how they professed their love for one another and everything, and that they were each other's, love of their lives and all that. That was pretty sad, because it's like, years or however long of time wasted being angry or being, however upset because of indiscretions or whatnot. I'm not saying that like, oh, you needed to just forgive and forget, because clearly we've been discussing not to do that with Tristan. But at the same time, it's like with Robert, he obviously had to continue having some sort of co-parenting relationship with Chris because they have kids. So for his mom, the Kardashians' grandmother, to not, kind of co-sign on that, it's pretty unfortunate, especially to ice Cece out like that.
Mhm.
And I think it's so sad, and you could tell that Cece was sad about the fact that Robert never forgave her for choosing Chris. Um, but again, it's the irony of ironies that like the Kardashian castle that crumbled was rebuilt brick by brick by Kris Jenner.
Hmm. And
Wild.
just to go back to your point about Tristan, we didn't say we don't forgive and forget. Tristan is just a repeat offender of his stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if this K girl, what's her name?
Khloe.
Khloe. If Khloe wanted to forgive him the first time, I mean that's her business. Ultimately, she could, she couldn't. But Tristan has been disrespectfully cheating at this
Yeah,
point, like embarrassing her 3, 4, 5 times. Like
exactly.
that's why we can't forgive and forget
Right.
him. And not we actually can't forget it, but we can forgive. This one we can't with him.
Yeah.
But Cece, yeah, she was very sentimental. I kind of felt
Yeah.
that.
I felt bad.
It was sad to me. Khloe's talking to Cece. Cece, continued the stories and said Helen wanted Chris back in her life on the low low.
Right.
She said that Helen was so proud when Chris was on the cover of People magazine. Granted, this is when Chris married then Bruce, now Caitlyn. I don't know why she was so happy, but okay.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, Cece said that Kim snuck Chris in at someone's house. I don't know if it was Helen's house or Robert Kardashian Sr.'s house, and said that Chris and Robert said their goodbyes. And she thinks that they professed their love to each other and that they were each other's loves of their lives. And then he passed away.
You know,
So tragic. Oh my God. I almost cried.
okay, before we get to the tragedy and the drama, it,
Shakespearean almost.
oh my God. I think it makes perfect sense that Helen would feel that way, because that is how most mother-in-laws that are toxic as hell decide to act. I said what I said. Because it's always a situation in which they do the most to push you away, and the moment you start to live your best life away from them, no, I need some of that shine, come back.
Well,
So
also, now that you're talking about it, makes sense because if she was the vibe, the moment in Rodeo Drive, and everybody bowed down to her,
yeah,
like, she needs,
yeah,
fame by association at this point.
exactly. Yeah. And then, as far as like Chris and Robert Kardashian Sr. saying their goodbyes, like, I'm glad that they had that moment, that in particular Chris, had that moment. I'm sure that, well, she's mentioned it, that the divorce and all that, the cheating and everything is like her biggest regret. I think it's evident that, she wishes she could have taken all of that back and spent, the rest of her marriage with Robert. But I don't know. I think like I find it like a little hard to believe that they were each other's love of their lives. I think it's like when a person dies, we tend to romanticize things, and we tend to like again put them up on these pedestals and these altars, and we forget, the bad stuff, which there's nothing wrong with that. But, for reality's sake, sometimes it just kind of seems like you're
Yeah.
pushing this narrative, right? A la Jada Pinkett Shakur Smith,
Alcina.
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 can't forget entanglement. So, like, I don't know. It I feel like it didn't tug at my heartstrings like that much.
I think for sure that was the love of her life and she regrets it. The only thing that didn't didn't make it so Shakespearean to me was the fact that she was married to then Bruce, now Caitlyn. I'm like, I just find it sometimes, or a lot of the times, disrespectful.
Yeah.
You had, I don't know how long they were married, over a decade, maybe 2 decades. I don't know. No,
Yeah.
less than two. More than a decade. You were married to then Bruce, now Caitlyn, and you're over here putting another man on such a high pedestal, and you're openly saying,
Yeah.
I regret this and I wish I was with him. Or, let's not forget when she wanted to change her last name back to Kardashian
Oh my
on
god.
Keeping Up. I don't know what season that was.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah.
I feel like, she was just kind of continuously trashing then Bruce, now Caitlyn. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like he's he is mad, and it's obvious why. He probably holds some kind of resentment. Or she holds.
Conspiracy theory alert here.
Me?
No, no, me.
Oh, okay.
Conspiracy theory alert here.
That's weird because you don't do conspiracy theories.
Well, it's just that, like, in discussing this very, topic, so when Caitlyn Jenner transitioned, there was interviews that she did and all these different details that came out, and a lot of people believed that Kris Jenner knew.
Mm-hmm.
And Kris Jenner vehemently denied that. Her family vehemently denied that. I can't recall for certain if Caitlyn ever, said that Kris knew, but if in fact Robert Kardashian is who she still loved and was the love of her life, despite being married to then Bruce Jenner, on some level she had to know something. Because, like, why would you still be with someone who is not the love of your life when you're still in love with someone else? Was it because this person was part of your getting your foot into the entertainment world? Was it because this person was able to, bring you some money since you were their manager? Was it because this person, basically let you do whatever you wanted? And, maybe you also had other relationships during that time, and so you weren't paying too much attention. But there's also, I believe there was a rumor, of course, all alleged, where Kris Jenner walked in on, then Bruce Jenner wearing women's, I believe, underwear or some kind of
Like
clothing.
a bra or something, yeah.
Yeah. So, ma'am, could it be, right? Conspiracy theory here. Could it
Mhm.
be that she did know something? She just didn't care because then Bruce Jenner was her foot in the door to what she would later create as the Kardashian Jenner empire.
Mhm.
And so, the same way many people believe that she sacrificed Kim with the, private tape of her and Ray J, and that she concocted that whole thing in order to get her daughter to become a star and then all that other stuff. Is it that far fetched to think that maybe she did know that, Caitlyn was Caitlyn back then and she just kept it going for entertainment purposes?
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. I think we need to watch The House of Kardashian.
Oh no.
We do, because maybe Caitlyn says something that, I know
Don't
from the clips
made
we've seen.
headlines.
I know, but I know from the clips we've seen that she basically says, Kim was basically plotting on how to be a star.
Right.
So, plotting with the mom. I don't know. I'm just trying to think here.
I mean,
I
there
don't
was a
know.
lot that was
I
going
think,
on back then.
yeah. you know, to, yeah. I
Because,
think you
like,
might be right. She had to have known if something was off. Of
how
course.
many times did we hear her profess her love for then Bruce Jenner? Like,
Never.
and even during certain season, I can't remember which one it was, they weren't living together anymore. You know,
The
and
most emotion I saw was when they were getting divorced and she was for real crying or maybe fake crying about it.
yeah,
Um, and I could see that she was, kind of hurt when I guess Bruce or now Caitlyn transitioned and, was pop talking smack and, that whole era of it all. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I wonder what the relationship is like with the daughters and all that. I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't know. But it's strange. It's all very strange. And then let's not forget that, like, supposedly both, Caitlyn, then Bruce, and Chris had a great relationship with Robert Kardashian. Kylie
Which
and
is weird.
Kendall, yeah, Kylie and Kendall call him Uncle Robert. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's a whole lot of stuff going on there.
Well, I mean, I have nothing else. All right, guys, that concludes today's episode. Let us know what you think about this episode and all the things that we covered. What do you think about C's revelations about Helen Kardashian and that whole thing? What do we think about Khloe and what should she do so people can start listening to her?
You know.
But that concludes today's episode. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please share our video. You guys are amazing. I just want y'all to know. Y'all have been sharing the video and we're getting more followers and that's great. Our follow count is kind of low, but our hours are high. You guys just need to subscribe. Please help us out. We're trying to grow, okay? So, your friends could be our friends, and we could all be friends. We also have social media, which Steve will tell you about.
We're on TikTok and Instagram at Hear Me At DNE. Make sure you guys watch our videos on there and our posts, and that you like, you comment, you share, you follow. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you may see some interesting landscapes in one or two of our videos. So yeah, we definitely want to have a little bit more of that going on, interaction and everything, because we enjoy interacting with you guys.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time with the last episode of this season of the Kardashians, because we all need a break, okay? We can't guarantee we won't cover the Kardashians after that,
Right.
but at least we have the Hulu break.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.